Welcome on in Alarm Fantasy Football. Here we are. I'm your host, Andrew Cooper, joined alongside me. Your fearless leader has returned. The chat was loving Johnny Empanadas yesterday, getting a lot of shout outs, Bender. But
how could you not love Johnny Empanada, man? The dude is money in the bank. He is the most reliable. And you know what? And I'm going to say this, right? Well, first off, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. We appreciate that. Fantasy football trade talk coming up. We'll talk a little bit of waivers. We'll talk a little bit of strategy. We are doing this drafters thing. But let me just say this about Johnny Empanada. I'm sitting there. He was at a wedding this weekend. And he's messaging me. So, whatever. I mean, we're just, kind of going back and forth. And he starts telling me that the dude that he's sitting next to is like some like nuclear physicist or something like that who like works for Harvard University. And then in the next segment, he writes to me, I told him I write about fake football teams for a living. And I died. My wife died. I could not stop laughing. Got to shout it out to the man we call Vanilla Bean because he's secret sneaky funny. He's sneaky funny.
Dude.
So
He'll get you every once in a while, man. He's
love
a
it.
genius. He keeps the trains on time. Speaking of keeping the trains on time, the draft is up and running. Our drafters draft, and oh baby, your boy A Coop is on the clock. Christian McCaffrey is gone, preventing me from taking the guy that I take every single time. I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to do this because Bender doing the wide receiver rankings this week, which are up. If you check out the weekly rankings, those are mine every single week. Let's make this bigger. Yeah, there we go. Boy, is it a weird week for wide receivers. There's no injuries. I mean, there's no bye weeks yet, but the injuries are crazy, man. Like CeeDee Lamb's hurt. Think about the guys we usually rank at the top. CeeDee Lamb's hurt. Jamar Chase's quarterback is hurt. Yep. Justin Jefferson's quarterback is hurt. Yep. Right. So for me, my number one ranked wide receiver this week, Puka Nacua, 1 overall. Right, 1 overall. You can make an argument. Sure, you can make an argument for Amon-Ra St. Brown, definitely in full PPR. You can make an argument for Jackson Smith and Jigba the way he's playing, but very thin at the top this week for wide receiver. I mean, you're still starting a lot of these guys wherever you got them, but it's getting dicey out here. It is getting dicey.
It's getting very dicey out here, no doubt about it. I went the other way on that game. I mean, that Rams Colts game, that's the highest point total on the board for Sunday's action, right? If you eliminate, some of the other games that are out there. And that's gonna be a hell of a one, right? Jonathan Taylor going up against the front seven of the Rams, Jared Verse and the whole crew there. That's gonna be a great battle there. But I mean, how do you not ride Jonathan Taylor based off of what he's done for the first 3 games? Because I'll say this, and we'll talk a little bit about Daniel Jones, because I believe that you and I are kind of, not so much on opposite sides of the fence here, but we've got some Daniel Jones talk to do for sure. But his presence there, as opposed to Anthony Richardson, has opened up the running lanes for Jonathan Taylor. Like, you could drive a boat through those things. It's phenomenal.
Taylor's crushing, man. Taylor's crushing. Speaking of crushing, we see you guys all in the chat. You know who made it in to the draft today? Jerry Nelson, picking from the 10 spot. He was able to sneak in there. Also, Greg Martinez doing
Greg Martinez picking fourth.
Picking fourth. Yes, we got some new folks in here. Everybody else in here this week has drafted with us before. TCT drafting. I think we're a second time here. Our time in for another time. And then, of course, guys like Icy and Gringo that we see all the time. Not that we don't like to see you. And the heavy hitter, Sigma Chi, who has now won 2 of these, the reigning double champ. Let's see if he can take it down once again. But what's up to everybody in the chat coming in today? Obi in the draft, Icy in the draft. I think Ann and Jack Senzen are planning to draft with us tomorrow. If you would like to draft with us tomorrow, go over to fantasyalarm.com/draftersbb and get set up. Shoot me a message on the Discord or on the Twitter or the Blue Sky or the Reddit or wherever else and get set up and rock with us. If you use promo code ALARM100 right now, you actually also get added into a giveaway to potentially get a free month of the All-Pro package. So no better time than now to get set up with drafters. They will match your deposit up to $100. So put in 10, they give you 10. Put in 100, they give you 100. Put in 200, they give you 100. So use promo code ALARM100 and get set up, and you can draft with us. We're going to do another draft to kick off tomorrow morning. For those that have never watched the show, we're just drafting a lineup for this week. 1 quarterback, 1 tight end, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, and 1 flex. So quick 8-round draft. We're putting $10 on it. Third place gets 10, second place gets 20, third place gets 60, fourth place is you fired. You get nothing. So that's the deal. Here we go. Bender with Jonathan Taylor, great pick in the first round here. Let's see some of these squads here. Bucky Irving, Jackson Smith, and Jigba. That's a strong start for Jerry. Strong first draft for Jerry. I'm loving JSN so far. It's highly consolidated. That's what it is. They use the fullback, the blocking tight ends, and all that junk. So there's gonna be down games for the team as a whole. That happens when Sam Darnold's your quarterback, but he's getting whenever they throw, he's the first look. So he's doing all right so far. Feeling good about it. Let's see here.
Definitely feeling good about it. I mean, listen, it's he's like the only game in town. Like I love Torrey Horton as like a nice little sleeper pick, just because Cooper Kupp is just not the same guy that he's always been. So when you look at that situation, I mean, we talk target consolidation all the time, and JSN is just, I mean, he's leading that charge 100%. So you can't really go against what you're seeing there. So I can dig it. I can definitely dig it. All right, let's see. So our time stole my Omarion Hampton pick. I was ready for that. What do you think of so the funny thing about Hampton here is that not only did Najee blow his Achilles, and that's, it's a shame. And we love Najee and we wish him nothing but the best. We don't like to root for injuries or even cheer them on. But when you're kind of taking a look at certain things here, Coop, Omarion Hampton, 19 carries, 6 catches. Like, did he not show Greg Roman and Jim Harbaugh that he can handle, that he wants to handle that full workload? I absolutely loved it.
Exactly. And there's a right way and a wrong way to deal with these injuries, as we know. Right when the guy gets hurt and he's on the field and everyone's taking a knee, you don't go out and say wheels up Omarion Hampton. For me personally, I don't say that. I move him up in the rankings.
I threatened everybody in the family room when that happened. Well, it's like first person who says it's Trey Benson's season gets double charged on their credit card.
Yes, it's disrespect, which was so funny. But it's disrespectful to do it that way. What we do is we move them up in the rankings. We talk about how they're a good play this week moving forward. And if they do well this week, that's when you say, you know what? Omarion Hampton looks great, picked up the slack. Trey Benson in this new role is looking pretty good. That's how you handle those things. But you don't dance on the grave of a guy like James Conner, who battled cancer to make it to the NFL, has battled injury every single year. Absolute trooper. They love him in the locker room. Same with a guy like Najee Harris, man. He's worked his tail off, back to back 1,000-yard seasons. Let them rest, and then moving forward as we go through the season, you can get excited about Hampton and Benson and all these guys. So, yes, it is a good pick, absolutely, for our time. I see you took Emeka Egbuka, which with Mike Evans banged up and Chris Godwin banged up and Jalen McMillan banged up, only show in town, and he's looked great. He was always a guy that we loved in Dynasty. The only question was about what his workload would be early on, and with all the injuries, his workload's been phenomenal. And he might be able to hold on to that, just the way he's playing. So not even necessarily a guy I'm going crazy to sell high. Is he a sell high for you, Bender, right now?
Who's sell high for me?
Egbuka. Is that a guy that you would?
No, because here's the interesting thing. I mean, I'm kind of on the fence with that, but I really, what I love that's going on. Obviously, the timing is ironically good, because I think he is more than capable of handling that Mike Evans role. And Evans is going to be out for 3 to 4 weeks now, which is just going to allow Egbuka to entrench himself as a starter. I think that what you're looking at is you're looking at a situation where they're going to end up going with Godwin, Egbuka, and Evans once Evans is back. Once Evans is back and healthy and he takes that role over again, at this point, we have to see what Chris Godwin is like. Because if Godwin is struggling at all, or if, they just want to limit him to slot work so that he's not, tearing down the field at a torrid pace, then I think Egbuka really kind of shines a little bit. So to me, he's more of a hold as opposed to a sell high, because savvy fantasy people are going to be like, well, he's, Godwin's back. It's going to be crowded. I don't want to, pay a premium for him.
Right.
So you might as well hold. If you're not going to get full value, it's like when people try to sell Ashton Genty right now, you're not getting full value for him. So why are you going to try and sell him, especially probably where you drafted him, not saying that you have to hold on to him constantly, you know, until till the end of time. But I mean, at least give them more than the 3 weeks that we've given them so far.
Exactly. If the narrative presents itself, like I've seen some people that have been able to buy Rashi Rice really cheap. Like if you're 3-0 with Egbuka and the Rashi Rice guy is 0-3, there you might be able to say, hey, you know what, man, you need this guy and his upside. You know, if you can play it like that, then do it. But otherwise, I'm with you. I'm just holding it. I'm hopefully getting myself a bye week. We kind of buried the lead here, Bender. Crockett Martin just became a member level fantasy. Let's
Ah,
go.
there it is. There it is.
Let's go, dude.
Let's
Appreciate
go.
the support. Crockett, a longtime support of ours. And, you know, with the YouTube, if you become a member, you get access to all these cool emojis. Throw that yin and yang emoji up there. You got the fish emoji for Bender, the vanilla ice cream emoji for Johnny Empanadas. Of
Johnny
course.
and
Of course. So yeah, get those rocking. Let's see. What do I want to do?
you like me taking a running back I never usually like to take, but I mean, listen, Buffalo's run defense sucks, dude.
DVOA, they're like bottom 3 or 4, right?
I mean, they're, you know, and it kind of gets, you know, it gets shielded a little bit, but I mean, they're giving up like the most rushing yards per game right now. I mean, that's what it is. It was a tough schedule to start off, but it's still a bad run defense. And, you know, I mean, they are looking at, you know, there are definitely more passes going Kamara's way than I had originally figured, simply because Spencer Rattler just gets rattled so much that he keeps dumping it off. Like it's not like design screens, but you know, it's enough. It's definitely enough. Hey, is
Yeah,
Christian Gonzalez back this week? Are you going to take maybe
he
Ted?
is. That's why I'm not
Well,
taking. He's supposed to be. He's supposed to be. That's why I'm not going to grab Tedero and McMillan here. What I'm going to do is
boo,
do this. And
boo.
this is a guy I am.
I had
I
it all
know.
set to go.
Potentially selling high on that guy, though. That is a potential sell high for me because they are going to get, we're expecting them to get back Juwan Jennings, Ayuk, Kittle, all these guys at some point. It could happen at the worst possible time for fantasy. So that is a guy I am considering selling high on now, especially, again, you can only sell high if you're 2-1 or 3-0. Otherwise, you really kind of want to hang on to these guys that have this like window open now. But yeah.
Uh-oh. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. I don't know who I'm going to take. I just took Keon Coleman.
He had a much better route participation this week, 80%. So one week 80%, next week 50 or whatever. This week back up to 80. So
you have to, like, that's the thing. You have to look at the situation. Like people who just sit there and talk to you about snap counts and routes run and stuff like that, if they're not giving you the situational information, then they're not giving you like the full story. Just in the sense that when you look at Keon Coleman, you look at Buffalo's matchups, right? And you talk about the fact that he was he was covered by Sauce Gardner in week 2, right? And then against the Dolphins, did they need to take downfield shots? No, they didn't. They had that game well in hand, and that was just a matter of like, if I don't need to take a downfield shot, I don't need to. I like him here against the Saints simply because I think that this is one of those like we can have a little fun type of game, right? And Josh Allen can, you know, play a little huck it chuck it football just to torment our boy Alante Taylor, who's going to have to try and cover Keon Coleman.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's like from week to week, you have to keep in mind, like the Panthers a week ago ran 85 offensive snaps and dropped back to pass 65 times. So people are like, yeah, Jatavian Sanders wheels up. I'm like, 10 targets on 65 dropbacks isn't even that many. Like it's not even like a 20% target share.
Right.
The people they're like, oh, worried about the snap counts for the Seahawks and Commanders. I'm like, did you watch those games? The Seahawks were up by like 30. You blinked and they were up by 30 points. You know, they didn't need to have the starters out there forever. Of course, Torrey Horton's going to come out and play the second half. So you got to keep those things in mind. We do have a trade question that came in, and it's it involves a pick you made in this draft with Alvin Kamara. Would you trade Keenan Allen and Alvin Kamara for Breece Hall and BTJ?
Ooh, it's kind of funny, right? I mean, it's an interesting trade because I'm so disappointed in the workload that Hall has been given over the last 2 games. Like,
Right.
you know, like that's been bugging the crap out of me. I don't understand what Tanner Engstrand's really doing there. BTJ, I think he's a great buy low candidate. I really do. You know, so the question is, I mean, they're two great buy low candidates in Brees Hall and BTJ. Are you really buying low here with Keenan Allen and Kamara? I think you're selling high on Keenan Allen.
Yes.
Kamara, I'm kind of like, I mean, he's kind of like in the middle there.
Right.
I think I would do the deal if I felt comfortable about the rest of my squad.
Yeah.
Right? That I could take that shot on Brees Hall and BTJ. I think I would do it if I knew that, like, my quarterback is a lock. I have another lock running back. I have another lock wide receiver. Like, if I feel good about like at least 3 core members of my team, then I think I would do this.
Yes. And because your team could turn into a juggernaut if Hall and BTJ bounce back. The thing is, even me as a Kamara fan, I would do this trade because Keenan Allen, take the Chargers and talk about unsustainable situations. The Chargers not only have 3 wide receivers on pace for 100 targets, they have 3 wide receivers on pace for 120 targets. That's just not going to happen. It's not sustainable. One of these guys is going to get banged up. You know what could happen is, Quentin Johnson or Ladd McConkey get hurt, and then Keenan Allen is potentially the guy for the rest of the year. But as we've seen time in, time out, Keenan Allen, especially with that weird shoulder of his, he's the guy that gets hurt. So for me, I'm trading, and he's also the guy right now that plays a part-time snap share of the 3 of them. So if one of them is going to get hurt by lower volume games, then it's going to be Keenan. So for me, I am willing to do that trade, absolutely. Because BTJ, I mean, he's either going to bounce back or go on IR. If the wrist is that bad, then put him on IR. You know what? I'm fired up. I'm taking him. Let's go. BTJ, 6th round pick here.
I like it, man. I definitely like it. Yeah, at some point, the drops are going to stop. Liam Cohen is going to get through to his passing attack, right? I'm not, is there a bigger banana in the tailpipe than Parker Washington with his 11 targets this week?
Yeah, right, dude. I mean, he got the full workload. So it's just he's gonna be a DFS darling, I bet. Johnny and Pemba was talking about him yesterday, and I was like, oh no. What do I do here? Do I take Jalen Hurts or do I let somebody else take him and take the quarterback I want to take?
Who's the quarterback you want to take?
I'm gonna take Jalen Hurts. And I'll let you know when the quarterback I want to take comes off the board. Because he's a super duper mega star. Caleb Williams just got picked, and at first I was like, but then you realize that he's QB3 on the season.
Right. Going
Caleb
up
Williams
against
is letting it fly.
Who's Chicago got this week? It's why am I blanking on it?
I was just going through all of them, and now I'm blanking too. It's
Vegas, right? It's a game in Vegas.
Yeah. We do take questions. We're doing a quick draft with the family members here. We do kind of start the show, kind of talk about some of the players we like, don't like. But yeah, throw the questions in the chat.
Yes.
We're doing trade questions today, folks.
You're answering a question like my wife answers a question.
Yeah.
You take questions? Well, right now what we're doing here is a little family draft.
Yes. Trade. Yeah, exactly. What do you want for dinner? And then I answer, and then she says no to 10 different things before I finally say, what do you want for dinner? So yeah, we take trade questions. We're trying to not do as many start sits today because we need information. There's a lot of guys that are not practicing on Wednesdays. They didn't practice yesterday. In the case of Terry McLaurin, they're getting 2nd and 3rd opinions on a quad situation. So we don't have all the information we need for necessarily for all the start sits, but we do have them for the trade questions rest of season. We definitely have questions like this. What's up, Coop? What's happening? Brian did ask before I told him, tried to not ask those kind of questions. Here's a wild card bender. Travion Henderson potentially playing more snaps this week, or Jordan Addison coming back for the first time. Which mystery box would you like to open?
I'm actually going to go with Henderson in this one here. Mm-hmm. I think that, listen, they are not going to tolerate Ramondre Stevenson with the fumbles. They're just not going to. So, I think that if Henderson is going to get that uptick, and it's a good spot for New England right now, right? Carolina, not a good run defense at all. We've targeted against them a ton. I'd say that if you're worried about like snap count or split, are you not worried about Jordan Addison coming back from a suspension with a backup QB right now?
Mm-hmm.
Like that's, you also just got back Jalen Naylor. So, I think that Henderson's probably the better flex for me.
This will be only assuming everybody plays the way they're supposed to, this will be only the second time over the last 3 years that Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, and Justin Jefferson all play 75% of the snaps. How crazy is that? Between the suspensions and the injuries and all the weirdness, this will be only second game. Like, we've really never seen these guys play all at the same time. So we don't know where the target's going to go. And of course, naturally, it's going to be with Carson Wentz. So it's just another curveball out there. Shout out to Hail to the Redskins here with the pick of the draft, Daniel Jones. What a selection. Absolute megastar. Buy high candidate. Bender disagrees. Bender's thinking.
Well, I mean, buy high. What are you talking about? What would you give for Daniel Jones? If you needed a quarterback, what would you give?
Dynasty 101. I would trade away, package up, package up JSN and also throw in Bijan Robinson. Just get him by any means necessary.
Dude, that's all right. See, no, you gotta let people know that you're screwing around there.
I'm screwing around. That's insane. He's an impossible player to trade for or to trade away. I think if you do have two quarterbacks, then absolutely look to trade him away. I got to make my pick here. It's an easy pick for me, but I'm winning this week. This is my week. This is the week of the coup.
I don't know, man. I got youth on my side, with the exception of Kamara.
Yeah, you got a hype team, dude. You got the hype boys. I got Puka. My wide receivers: Puka Nacua, Ricky Parasol. Big bounce back week for Brian Thomas Jr. Running backs are Derrick Henry, Chuba Hubbard, and Tony Pollard going up against the Texans, who have also quietly been one of the worst teams against the run, letting up rushing touchdowns every single week. Bottom 5 team in DVOA. They had Jalen Hurts. He's probably going to have some sort of tush-push nonsense with a false start for a touchdown.
Ooh, now with Vita Vea in the middle.
Yeah, he'll be fine.
Oh, yeah.
He'll be absolutely fine. I'll bet. Hey, what do you think that? What's the anytime touchdown for Jalen?
I don't know. I'll definitely look that up.
Yeah,
anytime touchdown for him.
It doesn't matter who's on the other side. It's an unstoppable play. So unstoppable play, quarterback, and then Tyler Warren, who's been as solid as it gets. So there you have it, folks. If you want to draft with us, get set up with Drafters. Use promo code ALARM100. They'll match your deposit up to $100. And it also puts you into the drawing for a free first month of a Fantasy Alarm All-Pro membership. I asked Johnny yesterday. I think there were maybe 4 or 5 people that were in there. So your odds are pretty good getting pulled on that. So get set up now and then shoot me a message either on Discord or on Twitter, and we'll get you in the draft tomorrow at 1 p.m. So there you have it, folks. Thank you guys for joining us. Those who joined us first time, Jerry Nelson's team. Let's check it out. Irving, JSN, Genti, Odunze, Ferg, the hottest name in PPR, which is what this format is. Tight end 1 in PPR, tight end 11 in standard. But hey, targets are king. Justin Herbert, Drake London, and then underneath there, I can't.
That's Troy Franklin.
Troy Franklin. Okay, a little hype pick at the end. We got. Let's look at
my team, dude. Come on.
We gotta look at Greg's team. It's his first draft, dude. You've done like
nobody's talking about the Jordan Love, Matthew Golden against the stupid Dallas Cowboys.
Big dude. It's big breakout game. Big breakout game for him.
Big breakout game coming.
He actually had a decent game last week, so this could be the big one. Yeah, your team is solid. Your team is solid. Good. That's good. Henderson in the last round, huh? They're just giving him away out here. But Greg's first team, James Cook, Jordan Mason, bing, bang. That's like RB 1 and 2 last week. Tucker Kraft, who, assuming he's healthy, should be locked in. Breece Hall, Jamar Chase can, all in something like this. Jamar Chase in the 5th round, hard to argue with it. Lad McConkey, Jamo Williams. And this could be a good week for the Lions pass game, I will say. John and Pemba has been pointing out that the Browns' run defense is damn good, huh? What's going on with that?
The Browns' run defense is fantastic right now, dude. They've shut down Chase Brown, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs. Bing, bang, boom.
And not even just that they went away from them. These guys each got 15-plus carries and didn't crack 50 yards. So I like throw a DFS play at you real quick. I like Jared Goff and those pass catchers this week is a little snacky. So Check that one out. Okay, let's clear the deck on some questions, and then we'll give out some more DFS picks today.
Right on.
Half PPR, trade Shakir for Franklin. I have Sutton and J.K. Dobbins.
No.
No.
Why would you want okay. Why would you want to stack?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like that, okay, stacking doesn't work in season long.
Right.
Occasionally you'll get a game that pops, of course. But I mean, to just think about the fact that, let's say Bo Nix has a crap game, right? And J.K. Dobbins has a great game. But if Nix is having a crap game, what are Sutton and Franklin going to do for you?
Right. The reason we stack in best ball is because so you don't have to play that guessing game from week to week. You just get the points. But last year, the guy that the guys that won everything that had Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow and T. Higgins stacked up. Well, Jamar Chase had good games and T. Higgins had good games, but they didn't always have good games at the same time. The last game of the year when T. Higgins had 3 touchdowns, Jamar Chase didn't do anything. So you got to be careful with getting too many guys on the same team. It kills you for your bye week, and it can create a headache for just trying to pick one or the other. So keep Shakir. Shakir did play 80% of the snaps this week. He usually doesn't play that much. Caleb Johnson droppable in 14 teams. Never drop guys just to drop them, Brian. Never drop guys just to drop them. Let us know who you'd be dropping them for, but that guy is not playing right now. So if you're going to pick up somebody usable, then you got to do it, right?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing is that Caleb Johnson, like pretty much any of the rookies that are having some early difficulties here, is that you shouldn't have like loaded up too much on them. And if you did invest in some of them, like a Jadon Blue or a Caleb Johnson that aren't panning out right now, you have to ask yourself, is it worth it down the road? Why did I draft this guy? Did I draft this guy because he was supposed to have a share? Is 3 weeks enough to be able to do it? And that's really where it comes down to. You never want to give up too much. Now, if you need the roster spot, right, and you're on a 14-teamer and you're like, well, shit, I've got, CeeDee Lamb is hurt and this guy's hurt and this guy's, got a horrible matchup and you're going to need somebody. Well, then, okay, sure. But in a 14-teamer with the running backs probably as much of a premium as they're at, you gotta be careful.
Yeah. Ann said in the Discord that she wouldn't play if Sigma was in. So we'll get you in tomorrow. Maybe we'll block Sigma from playing. We'll have to see. Sigma, you're too good. You're scaring everybody away. Two socks here. Shakir for Torrey Horton in half PPR. There's only a very specific situation where I do that. If Shakir is like your wide receiver 5 or 6 and he's nowhere close to your starting lineup, and you just want like the highest upside stash play, then maybe. But the problem with Torrey Horton is that right now he doesn't have a meaningful role. He played this week. He scored the touchdown on special teams, and then he played because it was a blowout. But this team highly consolidates 2 wide receivers. For Torrey Horton to have upside, he does need he needs JSN to get hurt or Cooper Kupp to get hurt, or Cooper Kupp to play so poorly that they decide to make Cooper Kupp a part-time player and elevate this guy Horton, which we have no signs of that yet. So I would not do that if we were looking for somebody to actually start for you in the near future with bye weeks coming up. Only if your team is like loaded and you'll never start Shakir would I do that. Agreed, Bender? It's like
yes.
That's stash only play for Horton right now. Not that the player's great. I love having him in Dynasty. I think at some point he will be one of those top 2 guys. But that particular scheme is terrible for the wide receiver 3 because they use the fullback. The fullback comes in, you don't take out the tight end. You take out the wide receiver 3. You don't take out the running back, right? So he's the guy that gets penalized in the snaps. Godwin playing this week. I don't know if he's going to play. I'm excited to see him, but I'll tell you this. He's not going to go from 0 to 100, right, Bender? First game back for Godwin? If Evans is out, the hand might be forced here, right?
I mean, I think if Evans is out, I mean, again, I still think you've got Egbuka. Let's say Egbuka fills in that Evans role. You still have Sterling Shepard who can kind of, work his way in and spell Godwin a little bit in 2 receiver sets. You have the 3 of them on the field in 11 personnel, but you can also kind of weave in Ryan Miller. I mean, so I haven't heard anything yet about any kind of a snap count or any kind of limitation. The last update I heard was that he was going to be a limited participant in practice today, which, is Wednesday is typically a day off for veterans. So he's going to put in a limited practice today. I would say that I'd be fine using Godwin if he's like my wide receiver 3, and I'm like trying to decide between him and like Matthew Golden or, somebody like that, then I'm going to look to Godwin there. I don't think he gets his full complement of targets and snaps, but I also don't think that they're going to just, limit him to like 15 snaps.
Right. So if you're looking at any other part-time guys as well, then you might as well just go for the guy who's going to be part-time, but he's really good. Right.
Yeah.
So, okay. I think that's fair. Santiago here, 0-3, traded Barkley for Adams and Bucky. I mean, assuming Adams and Bucky go right in your lineup, I think that's about as fair of a deal as you're going to get to sell Barkley. So I think that's good. I think that's a good play. Traded Etienne and DJ Moore for Devontae Adams and RJ Harvey. Thoughts on that?
Yeah, see that. I mean, all right. I already have CMC, Hampton, and Kamara. All right, so he's got that, and Harvey. He can afford to sit back on Harvey. But did you buy low on Harvey here? I mean, DJ Moore might not be the lead wide receiver on that offense, but he's still seeing 4 or 5 targets. He did get into the end zone this last game. I don't necessarily think that Luther Burden or Olamide Zacchaeus are really going to pass him on the depth chart. I also think he could be a very intriguing trade option for Chicago as well. I think if Chicago were to think about trading DJ Moore, I think that they might, consider that. But ETN's doing well. So I don't hate the trade, but I also don't, because you can afford to wait on Harvey. I just don't love the deal either.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I will say this. His lineup got better because he wasn't starting ETN, but now he wasn't starting ETN and DJ Moore. Now he's starting Adams. So I think his lineup got slightly better, but just a little bit. But I think it's a fine trade. And again, Harvey, he still has some upside. You never know. Sutton in exchange for Pickens. I would rather have Sutton, I think, rest of season.
I would rather have Sutton as well.
Pickens, this could be a good sell high moment on Pickens.
Well, because you're also looking at Pickens now probably drawing the heavier coverage with CeeDee Lamb out.
Yeah, and Pickens was quietly the 3rd target on that team. Jake Ferguson was getting more targets flat out in virtually every game.
Well, that was just that's panic from Schottenheimer and Dak Prescott more than anything. It was like, oh damn, we just lost our entire game plan. What are we gonna do?
Dump it down. I pulled up the numbers, Bender. There have been 56 times that a tight end has caught 12 passes in the game. The amount of yards that Jake Ferguson had, 82 yards, is the fewest. 56 of 56 that they've ever.
I don't know what we were expecting.
The ding and dunk king of the world.
Sure.
But PPR, he's for the next few weeks at the very least, he's going to be great. What's popping in, everybody? Howard just tilted me. Yeah, the draft gets like that, Chris. The draft gets like that, dude. Let's see. Traded Chase Brown, Marv Harrison, Tracy for Hampton and Benson. Tracy's got like nothing. So
yeah, he's out for at least 2 to 4 weeks.
Yeah. So I would say this is basically Chase Brown and Marv for Hampton and Benson. Based on roster composition, I think you did pretty good. You did pretty good there. I still believe in Marv, but like if you have other wide receivers, go right ahead.
Oh, I believe in him too. The question is when you look at Chase Brown, are the Bengals still aren't we got a backup QB, so we're going to lean on our running game a little bit more. Maybe he gets a couple extra checkdowns in that realm, but I mean, you're getting 2 guys who are right now are the RB1s for their team, and the guy who is in front of them is done for the season.
Right. It's like so for the Chargers, the only other guy they had active was who they had. They had one other guy active, and then they guess they're going to sign Kamani Vidal from the practice squad, but like it's not going to be a big problem for them. And
they
then
got Hassan Haskins. That's who
Haskins. That was it. Yeah, it was Hassan Haskins was active, and now they're going to sign Kamani Vidal. So I'm not worried about them. And also, I'm not worried about Amari DiMercato. He'll definitely play a little bit with Benson. Probably some pass work, but like
little bit.
Benson's probably locked in there. Marv for Olave. I'm keeping Marv. I'm scared of in this environment. It's so crazy, Bender. You not only need to root for your player, but you also need to root for the teams for some of these guys so they don't change the quarterbacks. Like, right? Like, where I have Juwan Johnson and people that have like Harold Fannin and these guys, like You are a Browns fan. Spencer Rattler loves Juwan Johnson. The last thing you need is them to switch quarterbacks to Tyler Shuck or anything else. You are rooting for the team to win because it can get bad. Trust me, it can get even worse.
Imagine being that guy who has to root for the Saints to win this year.
That's what I'm saying. That's me, dude. I have a way uncomfortable number of Saints. I was off Shaheed, but I still ended up taking him in a few spots. Like, I don't know. And I picked up Juwan in a bunch of leagues. So there you go.
I have like a couple of shares of Kamara, and I've got a bunch of shares of Juwan Johnson. I don't think I have anything else there from the Saints. Maybe in some best ball, I took like some Devin Neal, just like final round, figuring that Kamara is going to get hurt.
Right. I was plugging in. There's this thing that lets you check best ball, like your combos compared to the field on one of the big platforms. I have there's only 5 users who have more teams with Michael Pittman and Daniel Jones than I have. I'm like looking at that. I'm like, I'm not sure if this is a good or bad.
How heavy are you weighted on Daniel Jones? Considering when you were drafting a lot of these best ball teams, how heavy on Jones are you?
Not as heavy as you would. Not as heavy as you would think. I think I have 10% Daniel Jones, but I have like 30% Pittman.
Yeah, I've got a high shares of Pittman as well.
Right, but like the thing is, not a lot of people were. Daniel Jones is going undrafted at certain points back when people thought Anthony Richardson was going to start. So it's like Daniel Jones isn't a 100% roster guy in the entire thing, you know. Whereas like Pittman was drafted in every single draft. Let's see what else we got here. Should I start Debo? Start sit. It's early for the start sits, Luke, but we will answer this one. Should I start Debo over BTJ or Zay Flowers this week? I mean,
Debo over BTJ or Zay Flowers this week if Daniels is back. No. I mean, again, I don't want to be that guy who puts BTJ on the bench for the game that Liam Cohen gets Trevor Lawrence fixed, right? Like, there's just too many possibilities over there. And Zay Flowers, how do you sit Zay Flowers?
Yeah.
In any kind of a situation right now.
He does this every once in a while. Teams, so the Lions play more man-to-man than any other team, and they just decided to take Zay Flowers away. What are you going to do? I mean, every once in a while he disappears for a week, but like he's locked in most weeks. McLaurin is out. Who would you play in the flex? Cup, Downs, or Benson? Well, see, this is why we try not to do these today. Benson regardless, but like we don't know if McLaurin's out. Would you trade Chase Brown, Tracy, and Marv for Hampton Benson? Yes, we already answered that. Need a RB. Do I trade CD for Judkins and Sutton? You could get more. I had a guy that shot me a DM today who traded CD Lamb for Pollard and Jace. He traded CD Lamb and Chase Brown for Pollard and JSN, which I thought that was a fine deal. I don't know if I would sell for Sutton and Judkins.
Yeah, listen, I just have a hard time. I mean, maybe Cleveland stays in games because of their defense. At some point, that defense is going to get tired, right? Yeah. And I just think that you run too much of a risk of Judkins getting game flowed out than anything else. So I just kind of worry about that. I would just look for something a little bit more stable than a rookie running back, or if it's a guy like Benson or Hampton who has that full role, on a much better team.
Right. Then I would just figure it out at wide receiver.
Yeah.
That's why I prefer to just get as good of a running back as I can, and then I'll figure out wide receiver. Would you prefer to trade Javonte or Kamara in the trade for Hall and BTJ? These Cowboys could be bad. Cowboys just lost I'm not sure if you're checking the news. Cowboys just lost their best player. These high ankle sprains can be a real problem too, even when they get back. So yeah, I would trade Javonte.
Dude, Bowden is not loving it.
And it's one of those things where it's like, you just got rolled up on. There's no way to stop that. Which D would you start this week? Seattle, Patriots, or San Francisco? So yeah, I do have the Patriots ranked fairly high, but Seattle has actually legitimately been good. So that was kind of a tough one for me. Where would you start, Seattle or the Patriots? I think I have the Seattle ranked close to the top 5 and the Patriots like 8 or 9 because they're getting Gonzalez back and they're playing the Panthers. Seattle is playing the Cardinals on Thursday. What do you think, Daniel?
I think I would lean towards the Patriots, actually.
Okay. Yeah,
I think that everybody's kind of riding high on Carolina off of that 30-0 home victory against Atlanta. That I think that, especially if you've got Christian Gonzalez coming back and he's going to be occupying, Teteroa McMillan for that much. Patriots have a decent run defense there. So, yeah, I would probably just kind of roll it with them.
Yeah, Patriots are going to struggle against the teams that have 2 or 3 good pass catchers, but one good pass catcher, then nothing, and a run game is actually the perfect formula for the Patriots. So I'm going to go with you on that one. Patriots, lock them in. Where do I have the Patriots ranked this week? I have the Patriots ranked. Did they flip this over yet?
I don't know.
I got to reach out to sales. I don't know if they flipped it. Okay.
What do you want to know?
So it looks like
where you have the Patriots ranked?
Yeah, but on the website it might not be flipped right now.
It should be. That's right. You know what? Somebody was asking me about it. We were having some tech issues with our.
I have the Patriots 8, but on the website, yeah, we got to reach out. I got to reach out to sales right after this because I have them ranked 8, but on the website it hasn't been flipped. So I'm gonna talk to them on that. I'll double check that right after the show. All right, what's up, guys? 2 questions. Is there any update on Joe Mixon? No one has heard from Joe Mixon. He is a ghost person, and he got hurt away from the team, so he's not even getting paid. That's a scary situation. Is it possible Taj Brooks can take over lead back duties moving forward? So we were hopeful for Taj Brooks, but it turns out this Samaje Perine thumb thing isn't even a big deal. So Taj Brooks might not even be the second running back on the team, unfortunately. So Taj Brooks, just a deep stash. And if Chase Brown is struggling with this line, then Taj Brooks isn't going to do any better, I don't think. Please hit that like button. We would love for you to do that. I'm debating between Baltimore D and Lions D. Have Mahomes and Kelsey, but going against Lamar need a win. I don't really worry too much about who I have and who I don't. For me, the Lions defense this week is like a top 3 defense, whereas Baltimore, for me,
Baltimore's facing Kansas City in Kansas City. You've got Detroit at home hosting the Browns.
Do the math.
I don't really. And you have Mahomes and Kelsey. Like what? Like,
Lions. Yeah.
I almost need to know, DM. Like what is the hang up here? What would be the reason to use the Baltimore defense?
For real. Let us know. I have the Lions ranked 3
and 38 points. That's given up 40 points already. That 1 point this year. Help me here, DM. I'm not trying to be an ass. I'm just trying to understand the process.
I'm not going to be an ass either, but I'll tell you, I have one of those defenses ranked 3 and the other one ranked 17. So you can do the math on that. Insignificant trade, I feel. PPR, would you move Strange and Calvin Austin for Njoku? I'm deep at wide receiver. Yeah, I mean, if you're never going to use Calvin Austin, I think I would just do it.
Yeah.
Njoku's still running the routes and getting the targets. He's looked better the last couple of weeks. If Fannin wasn't there, we would look at Njoku and just be like, he's fine. He's getting 5-6 targets every week. Trade Nico for Achane and Gibbs. I mean, if you could trade Nico for Gibbs, I would do that immediately.
No, look at his wide receiving core. That's terrible. Puka, great. Olave, Ridley, Waddle.
I mean, his running backs are Javonte, Etienne, Swift, and Monty.
I'm more than fine with that.
Yeah.
And if you've got Monty, you don't want Gibbs also.
Agreed.
So another D question.
Roll Baltimore, pick up Pats or San Francisco. Here's the problem with doing that is that once you drop Baltimore for the Patriots, you've committed to streaming for the next couple of weeks because you got to drop Baltimore. You start the Patriots this week, but the Patriots next week play the Bills. So now you're dropping the Patriots for the next team. So either bite the bullet for Baltimore or you're committing to streaming. It's your choice which way to go. Or you can carry 2 defenses. If you can carry 2 defenses, just start the Pats this week and go right back to the Ravens. It's better to trade Javonte and Adams for Jamar Chase and Genty. Genty trades are tough. He looks like he's doing some cool stuff. The metrics show that he is in a vacuum, breaking some tackles and making things happen, but they're just not putting him in a position to succeed, and he's not catching passes.
What was it? It was
Javonte and Adams were chasing.
percentage of yards. I think it was percentage of yards after contact versus like just your yards that you pick up.
Right.
And I think Genty was at 101%.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I think Ian posted that. It's like he's basically running around like Barry Sanders without the big plays, just the behind the line of scrimmage part. So
Yeah.
I'm not
I mean,
selling.
I think you're fine. I think you're fine with Javonte and Adams. I really do. I get it, right? You want to try but I mean, Augusto, what's up with your team? Are you losing? Are you 1-2? Are you 0-3? Like, I get that you want to kind of try and buy low here, but Jamar Chase with Jake Browning, what is that going to look like? And given the offensive line struggles for Raiders, how long is it going to be before Genty comes back? Screw it. I'd probably do it. Just sell high on Javonte.
I would do it too. The more I
talk my way through it,
you know what? Do it. And you know what's funny? I look at trades like that. Like sometimes if I have Justin Jefferson or like whatever, and I have an opportunity to have Jefferson and Chase, I just can't help it. Like sometimes I just want to have that lineup and just say I did it once. Good afternoon, everyone. Got sent a trade for Josh Jacobs. He offered Alvin Kamara and Rashee Rice. Are you 2-1? Are you 3-0, Jason? Because that might be a move, man, to get Rashee Rice.
Yeah. I mean, you have to be willing to eat a bench spot until week 11. That's really what it comes down to. If you can, then I think it's a perfectly fine deal. I do.
3 more weeks. Yeah. Rashee Rice, he could be so good. Golden, Ridley, Kirk, or Diggs. Oh, this is a start set.
Rod, there are no start sits on a Wednesday, dude. You've been doing this for how many years, buddy?
Rod.
You know what? I'm just going to say it here. For half-point PPR, I'm just going to go with Golden. Going up against the Dallas Cowboys. Deron Bland's hurt. Trevon Diggs sucks. They're going to have to start airing it out a little bit. You're going to have to make that move. The other wide receivers in there, who I can't remember who they were because Coop just moved that out. Ridley, we need to figure out what's going on. I feel like Ridley might actually be the problem in Tennessee, not the solution. So Kirk, if it were full point PPR, I would like it. And Diggs just really hasn't done anything. And I don't even know if there's upside here for Diggs yet.
Yeah, Ridley, watching some of these, he literally looks like he can't catch the ball if it's thrown too hard, which is like, for a professional wide receiver, it seems crazy. But like, I think Cam Ward is throwing the ball so hard he just can't catch it. And look, Amenar has no problem catching him. What do you think the value is for George Pickens? If I'm trading Pickens, what I want is stability back. So somebody that just is going to be flat. No, like is as good as Pickens, but like there's no concerns about what's going on around him and the team and the backup quarterbacks and the injuries and are they coming back? Are they not? Like if you could trade Pickens for like a Michael Pittman, I might just do that and just move on with my life and just and just live, because Pickens isn't doing anything. And he's probably gonna have a couple spike weeks. Maybe wait till after this week and see if he has a spike week with no Lamb and then move him. Would you drop Kirk for Golden? Yes. Go for upside, Rod.
I mean, is it full point PPR? Is it half point PPR? You kind of have to, look at that. If it's half point PPR, sure. Absolutely. Yeah. Full point PPR. I feel like, not having Kirk for as long as they've had has been a contributing issue for CJ Stroud. He spent all summer long looking at Kirk coming out of the slot, and he kind of became a little bit of a security blanket for him over the summer. And then quietly, everybody was like, holy shit, Christian Kirk is the number 2 wide receiver in this system, and he's leaning on him. So full point PPR, I might want to hold on to that just because we really haven't seen Golden get like anything great. But if you're just shooting for this week only, I think Golden has a better game.
Yeah, and Kirk definitely he got 8 targets this week, and he immediately got the second most snaps. I just want to see him play. I don't want to see him just playing slot, but you're right. He's in full PPR. It's probably Kirk. Plus, Christian Watson keeps sending messages out that he's going to practice the moment he's eligible, and he wants to play. I mean,
that dude's hamstrings are made out of Cheetos.
He's ready to go. The hamstrings are well rested. Got offered to send away Kenneth Walker and Pearsall for Keenan and BTJ. No, I'm keeping Kenneth Walker. Keeping Kenneth Walker. I have Ridley and Iaminar. Should I drop Ridley for either Shakir, Wandale, or Bateman? No, I'm going to hang on to who you got. If it's full PPR, I might drop Iaminar for Wandale, but I'd probably just keep it the way you have it. Can't drop Ridley right now. Henry or Juwan rest of the season, half-point PPR. Henry is probably safer. They've had 2 games where they threw 37 and 43 times, and he was good. The one game they threw 23 times, he was bad. And I think that's just going to be the way it is. With Juwan, the Saints are top 3 team in pass attempts. So it's like, I don't know. I might go. What do you think, Bender? Juwan's probably safer, but I mean, Henry's probably safer, but Juwan is better right now. As long as Spencer Rattler's running the show, Juwan seems to be fine.
Juwan is definitely he's more involved in it, absolutely. But I mean, yeah, I think Henry is definitely safer. He's also not dealing with full point PPR, which definitely gives the edge over to Juwan. And it's not chasing a 2-touchdown game from Henry, but it's just understanding that Drake May relies on him, and so I'd probably keep Henry.
Yeah, I'm going Henry too. Twitch gang in the house. Twitch glasses for the Twitch gang. What do you think about Jamar Chase and Bucky Irving and Olave for Saquon Jefferson? I'm 0-3. So Chase, Irving, and Olave for Saquon and Jefferson. Man, that is a blockbuster. Is bad.
I mean, if I'm 0-3 and I need to shake things up, I'll send Chase, Irving, and Olave for Saquon and Jefferson. No doubt.
I would too. Make it happen, especially with the injuries to the Buccaneers offensive line right now. Do I trade Garrett Wilson for DeAndre Swift and Brian Thomas Jr.?
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good too.
Buy low trade. That's a pretty good buy low. I don't mind that. If you need the depth and you're adding that, like that's one of the things, are you the person who's trading 2 for 1, or are you the person who's trading 1 for 2? Really depends on where you're at and your standings and stuff like that. So if you're sitting there and you're like, you're 1-2 and, you need that extra, push there. You need a bump up in your flex, or you need a bump up in your wide receiver 3. You kind of make that move then.
And always factor in who you're dropping and also who is the best player on the wire. Because some of these shallow leagues, when you trade away 2 guys for 1, you're going to get Garrett Wilson, and then you could get Iaminar or somebody off the wire too. So it's like it ends up being, for what your team is, not that bad of a 2 for 2 if you really think about it. Or whoever check and see who that guy is going to drop and see if he'll just throw that player in the deal. 14 team, no PPR, getting ARSB and Benson, giving up Genty and Pickens. Yeah, give me ARSB and Benson, I think. Yeah, for sure. But you'd have to throw in Caleb or Drake May. Ooh.
I mean, I think you're tossing a backup. If it's a single QB league, then I have no issue throwing in the extra.
Yeah, whoever the quarterback.
The extra quarterback, and just not having to decide between Caleb and Drake May. I think I might, I think I might just, I'd be fine giving either guy. I think I'd prefer to give May than Caleb. I know that you like May's rushing upside and everything, which I do too. Yeah. But Caleb is. I mean, this is going to be a high octane offense, and it's going to be that way all year long, right? Mm-hmm. Vrabel, I could see, him and McDaniels kind of, getting stuck in the mud during like those cold New England days.
Yeah, trade May, and then what you do is, because I think Chicago has bye week 5, so basically you just pick up a guy off the wire to start next week, and then you're home free with Caleb. Yeah. So that's actually not a bad setup to do it that way. I mean, Drake May doesn't have bye week till 14. So if you do it the other way, then you're pretty good too. Okay, let's rapid fire some of these. Dynasty question: who would you rather trade for, Judkins or Benson in Dynasty? I think it's still Judkins in Dynasty. Mm-hmm. Do you guys like Dobbins or Benson better in PPR this week?
I'd probably say Dobbins.
I have Benson ahead. Benson's matchup's kind of tough, so it's close. It's close.
I mean, Dobbins at home against Cincinnati on Monday Night Football.
Let me pull up my rankings. I have Dobbins ranked 18 and Benson 20, so I actually also have Dobbins ahead. Sorry about that. Wizards of the Gridiron. Yeah. Okay. The FA
outdoors, Dan.
The FA wet rankings need to be flipped. Howard already sent a message on that. Do you trade Kyron and Outdoors Dan? You DM'd me earlier on Twitter about the rankings. So those need to be updated. So make sure you double check them because I uploaded everything yesterday and it should have been done.
I
So,
texted with Dan this morning about it.
okay. Would you trade Kyron and JMO for JJ?
No, probably not.
Nope. No start sits today. Trade Judy or DJ Moore, and if so, for who? Would you try to trade Judy and or DJ Moore? I would try to trade Judy, man. I'm worried that
probably.
team, the wheels are going to come off that team. Packers defense sit and forget? Well, no, because they have a bye week next week. After their bye week next week, I think I actually will.
And it's a sit and forget.
And it's a sit and forget. Yeah. They have the earliest bye week of any team, which actually I kind of like sometimes. So just figure out somebody for next week, and I'm gonna lock them down. Always when I get to playoffs, though, I look at the matchups and I look at my roster, and I will roster 2, sometimes 3 defenses if I have to. I don't care. With Kittle down, I've been streaming tight ends. This week, Juwan still. Texans or Chargers.
You're saying Juwan over Mark Andrews?
In full PPR this week, yes.
Okay.
For me.
I disagree.
Juwan's got no less than 7 targets in any of these games.
I definitely understand that. It's just it's a garbage team, and it's just, to me, it's too unpredictable. I think we can rest easy on the fact that Mark Andrews was not a bust, and maybe the season started off slow, but come on.
I mean, last year it started slow, but of his first 4 games last year, he had 2 zeros.
I don't care about what he did last year. He had garbage for the first 2 weeks this year, and he turned out the other night.
But it could be garbage again next week. Juwan Johnson's been good every week. That's what I'm saying.
All right, so we disagree on that one there.
We disagree on that. If it was half or standard, I would start Andrews. But I just feel like Juwan, 7 targets every week.
Listen, I'm just taking notes.
All right, should I start Addison or Harrison Jr. in my flex? No flex, no flex.
Harrison Jr.
Yeah, Kamara or Scatabo rest of the season. I can't go that far. I'm excited for Scatabo, but I can't go that far.
Yeah.
That Giants team could be even worse now. I think people are underestimating the possibility that the team is worse. Crunchy Cheetos or Puffs?
Crunchy.
I don't really eat Cheetos, so I will abstain. Trade Tyler Warren for Genty. Yeah. Anytime I can trade a tight end, I do it. It's easier to
running back, yes.
So much easier to replace. The highest scoring tight end of all time is 330 PPR points. Genty could turn around and score 350. Like you just never know after 3 games. Does BDJ even have any trade value? Yes, you can trade him for, you drafted him in the 1st or 2nd round. I'm trading him, but I need to get somebody that, in my opinion, if we were drafting again today, would be like a 3rd or 4th or 5th round type of player. So I'm not selling low if that's what you're asking. Tyler Warner, Chase Brown. That is a little tougher, but I think I would still trade for the running back.
I would probably trade for the RB too.
All right, let's get him out of here, Bender. Give him one little tasty treat DFS pick that you're looking at early if you got something. I mean, for me, I already threw out there that I'm looking at I'm doing at least one Lions pass game stack. This Browns rush defense has actually been really good, but I think the Lions should be able to throw all over them. So if you can go Goff and any combination of Goff, Amon-Ra, JMO, or Laporta, I'm going to do some of that this week, I think.
I mean, if we're simply just looking at like the main slate, and doing it that way, I would definitely be looking at Omari and Hampton against the Giants. Giants are giving up a good amount of rushing yards. That Greg Roman is more than happy to just keep running the football against the Brian Daboll and company. He knows Daboll. He wants to show Daboll up. He's going to show him a little bit of something.
I'll tell you, my
rookie's better than your rookie.
I have a ton of Trey Benson. I don't have a ton of Hampton or Scatabo, and I think I'm gonna make up for it in DFS. I think I'm gonna get myself excited on those players with a little DFS this week. Yeah. So that's how I'm gonna handle that.
I think Ricky Pearsall also, by the way, is a very, very nice pick for this week. A very, very, whether Jawan Jennings returns or not, I think Ricky Pearsall against the Jaguars is kind of a smash spot.
Ricky Pearsall is going to be a good play until one of Kittle and or Ayuk get back, because it's at worst a 2-man show, and he's been good. He looks good. So I'm with you on that. I don't care if Jennings plays or not. He's going to be a good play. Slim shot
Honey
Wanda.
Koopy, it's cold up here in Alaska.
That's right, dude. That's right. Well, and I was talking on the Coop the other day. She was very excited for you that you found your cereal up there. The one that was missing from San Francisco. So big shout out there.
The number one comment on my post of a Frankenberry cereal is, "Oh, look at you with the bananas, making it all healthy and stuff."
Hey, a little potassium, dude. You know what? I just was watching. We're rewatching Parks and Rec, and the episode where Ron Swanson tries to eat the banana came up.
Throws it in the Paunchberg.
Paunchberg.
The best.
That's you with the Frankenberry. It's basically the same thing, dude. The banana and the Paunch burger. All right, gang. Yo, thank you so much for tuning in. On your way out, hit that like button, hit that subscribe so you don't miss anything. Tomorrow, we're hitting every start sit. So if you were yelled at today, we don't apologize, but tomorrow we will answer all those questions. We just want to make sure everybody gets their trades in today, and then we'll get all those tomorrow. If you have start sits that you want answered now, if you're a Fantasy Alarm member, put them in the Discord. I'll answer those whenever you ask them. I'll do my best. That's where, members obviously get special treatment. Same with this show. If you put in a super chat or whatever, then we'll take care of you. But for the most part, we just want to help people out and do what we can. So we'll be back tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern time with all your start sit goodness. Until then, we are out of here.
Adios, turd nuggets.